I love the Hearthstone menu music.
Versus Garrosh. Victory or death. My hammer.
It is fairly good.
I think I'm about to get called an idiot by Sai. I don't understand how that works, Sai.
You click spectate on one, and then you go back to your friend list, and you also spectate the other person.
You can do that?
Yes, you can do that.
Damn, I'm a scrub.
It's why spectate mode was introduced.
Wait, so now that I'm in match, go to my friends list and spectate. Oh!
Because of that, I'm late to spectate the match. Right, I'm
sorry.
here.
Okay, so sorry guys, my bad. We're starting out with Agtheo's going warrior, and he's got his armor smith out already. Armor smith, amazingly powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And the frothing berserker combo as well. This is going to be a hard power play.
This looks like one of the warrior decks that uses damage as a buff. And Zeo is playing with Paladin, playing with one of the alternative heroes, in fact.
Ah, yes. What is it, Leandrin?
I know it begins with L, but I can't remember the name. I'm ashamed of myself.
I'm waiting on Lone Samurai to unmute and just tell us her name and be like, you scrubs!
Thank you. But yeah, that was a good play. Using the quality to basically reduce down the health and then take out the Potting Berserker before it could get any bigger.
And get the Leper No damage to the face.
Uh-huh. Fiery
So
War Axe is out.
Yeah. Now, we've got another Fiery War Axe, Kor'kron Elite, Frothing Berserker, and a Fierce Monkey sitting in Agtheo's hand, so really well situated for the mid-game here.
A golden knife juggler.
Great
Love the animation.
That. Gonna give it Divine Shield to protect it a little longer.
And hopefully
and
this knife...
the 50-50 snipes out to Armorsmith.
Which is what I was thinking that Zeo was hoping to do.
Absolutely. You always want to get rid of Armorsmith. My preferred method is, of course, sheeping it, but I like sheeping things.
Agtheo acknowledges the play there. Also, he's going to play...
He's hovering on that monkey. He's weighing his options here.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and get rid of that Argent Protector. Still leaves him with one armor.
And regains the armor he lost.
Now, Divine Favor, unless there's a lot of draw in this warrior deck, which I kind of doubt, Divine Favor not going to be an incredibly useful card for Zeo.
He doesn't really have many options, though, in his hand at the moment.
Now, Seal of Champion's a great card here for him. Go ahead and pop that monkey. Now, actually, now's the time to use the Divine Favor, so take back everything I said just a minute ago. There comes the other knife juggler.
Ooh,
and
Leroy
Leroy.
Jenkins. You don't see that. You don't see him too much anymore after.
But did you see what Agtheo just top decked?
Oh.
So
wow.
Malkarok, an interesting card. His battle cry equips a random weapon, and it's a 6/5, so can have a huge swing on the board. Kor'kron Elite also with charge.
Calls Malkarok, a new legendary introduced, and this is interesting. During my spectating, I have one of the cards that Zeo has drawn is unknown for me. All I can see is the card back.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's an interesting glitch.
Yeah, Argent Squire, Leroy, Knife Juggler, and Argent Protector all in hand. At board control for Agtheo right now, I really like the card art on that Kor'kron Elite.
And now Now, I think maybe my spectator mode's gone a little weird because
It's not just you, because I can't see Zeo's weapon either. I was wondering why he just got healed.
Well, this is interesting. I can't see what Agtheo just drew, and I can't see what Zeo just drew.
Bear with us a second, guys. I'm going to pop out of spectator mode real quick, and I'll be right back. See if that fixes it, and then we can swap out.
Yeah, I'll keep spectator mode up for the moment. So Agtheo, out there with his big legendary sword, knife juggler, and a Leroy Jenkins on the field. The knife goes towards the legendary, not taking out one of the 2/1/1 whelps.
And Sai, you can go ahead and re-enter the match, but just so you know, that unknown card that he drew was Ragnaros the Fire Lord for Agtheo. Sword of Justice in the hand. Gonna pop the Malkarak, trade out the Leroy, and we still have Knife Juggler on board. Now the Whelps can clear it next turn if they want to. But he's gonna actually face tank one and get the heal off.
Yep. Of course, still have the option to clear the Knife Juggler with the Fiery War Axe, which is what he's going to do.
And Rag comes down. Now Rag has a 100% chance to hit for once.
And that's a lot of face damage to take all at once.
I would love to hear in this tournament at some point, "Be healed, insect."
I've never actually heard the Light Lord's battle cries. No, I've just seen it played.
I have. Zeo sitting on an Avenging Wrath, a Sword of Justice, and a Argent Squire.
I'm not actually sure if he has that many options other than to play the Avenging Wrath and take a chance, really.
I don't see any at this point. He's going to go with the Sword of Justice.
Protects me.
Reporting for duty.
So basically, all you're doing here is you're giving Ragnaros more targets so that you avoid taking that 8 damage to the face if at all possible.
Well, it's definitely an option. We'll see how effective it actually proves to be. The Fiery War Axe no more.
Agtheo is not going to have enough to pop those Divine Shields and get rid of the target. So for this turn at least, unless Rag, improbably hits what you want him to, Zeo may be safe. Yep, and he's going to take the Divine Shield off that 2/2 Silver Hand.
Alright, so we've got a Blessing of Kings there. And also that Avenging Wrath. Debating whether or not to play
needs to
it.
get to Rag, but he has to get through this Bloodhoof Brave first. And remember, as soon as you attack the Bloodhoof Brave and do damage, he's going to get +3 attack.
Yep, get some rage. And of
This
course,
is going to
every
give
hit.
Agtheo a lot of card draw.
Every single bit of damage done to that Acolyte of Pain is going to give card draw.
As I say, this is going to be one of the longest. Oh man.
Did it pay off? That's the question.
We shall see quite an impressive set of draws there doing that as well. You have Karen Bloodhoof coming out, and Arathi Weaponsmith, and Battle Rage.
There's the Battle Rage. Guessing even more card draw.
Oh, and there's Gromash. This could be lethal if you get the combo off. It's going to take a couple turns to do it, but I don't see a way out of this one for Zeo unless he top decks something really nice.
Try this.
Right, so using the weapon to take out the recruit. Oh, no minions on the field. There's a Hammer of Wrath.
That's 8 and 12, and that's lethal. If Zeo can't wipe the board, it's pretty much going to be over because he's going to have.
Nope. Ultra Squire is not going to do it.
All
So
right.
Zeo concedes.
Standout play from that game for ESI.
So that's 1-0 to reigning champion Agtheo.
Yeah.
So,
What'd you enjoy from that match, Si? What plays did you like there?
I'm just trying to remember around the.
It was a real flurry of cards, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm still not sure if Zeo should have held on to the Avenging Wrath for one more turn. If he'd actually sort of played it the turn before, would have had less targets, and one of those targets only had like 1 HP anyway, so might have done more damage to the Ragnaros.
And
Played it turn before.
having it hit that Alkalite of Pain gave Agtheo the cards that he needed to pull that win through.
Of course, Agtheo, as always, on top form. He did say that for a tournament he would bring his A game.
He did. We would have seen that Grow match at some point, but it would have been a lot, and we didn't see it play, but it would have been a lot later if not for that. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. Korkron, Whirlwind, Frothing Berserker, and Fierce Monkey for Agtheo. Sticking with that deck. Zeo opting to replace 2 hands, or 2 cards. Do you see the Animal Companion up there?
Ooh, so 2 wild pyromancers in Zeo's hand there.
Tracking, Wild Pyromancer.
Tracking to start off.
I can't
cards.
see him taking Sir Finley here. Yeah, Bear Trap.
Bear traps there.
Does anybody ever take Sir Finley?
I kind of use him every now and then if I'm doing some Murloc synergy. But that I kind of like the character, but.
So, right off the bat, if you'll notice, Agtheo has Whirlwind in his hand, which is the catalyst for a lot of the cards in this deck.
Yep. The point of a damage buff warrior is to do a lot of little bits of damage to your minions to make them even stronger. Basically, it's a berserker deck.
Yeah. Already has a Frothing in hand, so if he chooses to go for it on turn 4 or 5, he's got the play.
Ooh.
And Huffer coming out. Go ahead and even the board back up.
That was actually just like that was just the card he needed, really.
Yeah.
Get the monkey out of the way.
Now, this Frothing Berserker nullifies the Wild Pyromancer, although Agtheo doesn't know that it's in there. It becomes very dangerous to play a Pyromancer against this deck.
Using another tracking. See
Really
if
only
the options there.
Yeah, really some good options, but I mean, Eaglehorn Bow or Unleash the Hounds. He's going to go with Arcane Shot.
He's debating whether or not to play the Pyromancer and decides not to.
Now, one thing I always like to remind people is when you're playing against a Hunter, you are always in the clock just against Steady Shot.
Made to fit.
A Hunter has a guaranteed source of 2 damage per turn. Largely nullified, of course, if the warrior has enough mana left over to pop armor, but... There's the Bear Trap.
There's the bear. 3/3 bear. Of course, one of your basic taunts.
Absolutely great synergy here with the Whirlwind, the Frothing Berserker, and the Armor Smith. It pretty much means that if Zeo throws a Wild Pyromancer and then casts a spell, all he's doing is helping Agtheo.
Unless he uses Hunter's Mark on the Frothing Berserker, and then basically the Berserker will get wiped out.
Yep, and much more important to get that Berserker off the board than the Armor Smith. You can chip through armor. It's very hard to deal with what a Frothing Berserker can throw out. He is going to go ahead and clear them both. Very nice play there.
Just leave Agtheo with some armor, but an empty board. Of course, the other thing is that both those minions are also at 1, so the Whirlwind can clear them out.
Now answering back with the 4 damage. Fiery War Axe sitting in hand for Agtheo as well.
I'll say this much. Losing all the minions on his side of the board, it didn't really set him back. He was immediately back on the attack, back on the assault. So it's typical for a warrior, really, isn't it? You know,
Especially for a Berserk Warrior. You've got the On the Hunt and the Arcane Shot here as well, so not going to be too hard to clear this.
Oh, that's a good move. Deal 2 damage with the Arcane Shot. Pyromancer's effect clears it out. And then steady shots chip off more of that armor.
Yeah, well played. Another Kor'kron Elite, and yeah, the Arathi Weaponsmith was kind of expecting that one to come out. Clears the board.
Lost all his armor, but that doesn't really matter so much. He is a warrior, he can make more of it.
And Leroy's back.
Leroy, one of the old favourites. Doesn't get played quite as much since its cost went up, but you know, it's still a pretty damn good card.
I'm so glad they made that cost increase change. Made me very happy.
Yeah, I didn't actually hear that many people protest against it, if I'm honest. It's one of
I
the
think all of
few
us
changes.
have. We've all fallen afoul of the Leroy bounce enough, Sai.
Yeah, but I mean, sort of like in general, the Hearthstone community. Usually, there'll be somebody complaining about one of the nerfs, and sometimes
This
that's
goes
me.
to show
But
you how universally hated Leroy is. There's the slam, doing 2 damage to the Drake. This will take him down, taking damage to the face, but now we have a Bloodhoof Brave on the field. It's 2/6, kind of a hard taunt to get through. And keep in mind, Zeo has gone through a decent amount of hard removal this match. He does still have his Hunter's Mark in hand and on the hunt, so gonna go ahead and use that to clear it out.
it's probably one of the best things he could have done. There's a Mastiff on the field now, and a Savannah Highmane. Very big hunter creature there.
Yeah, Savannah Highmane, very dangerous, but Agtheo's got what he needs in hand to deal with it. He's got his Execute. All he's got to do is throw down the Ravaging Ghoul.
Mastiff's out of the way. The Execute goes down. The line is out of there, but the Hyenas have spawned.
Now we're going to see Battle Rage. And then he should armor up. Kor'kron Elite still in hand. Nope, going to go for the War Axe.
It's doing damage. Just wants to clear that board out.
Zeo doing a good job of slowing him down here, though. Not taking a ton of face damage. Actually up by 1 health.
Quick shot to take care of that Ravaging Ghoul. And with what's in hand, what do? Do you steady shot and play the Freezing Trap? Yes, you do. You're not going to play the Leroy Jenkins just yet.
Blood to Icor. And Zeo in a position I always hate to be in, everybody really hates to be in, reliant on top deck.
I like Blood to Ica as a card. It's one of those ones that I kind of use to like swarm myself an extra creature by damaging one of my opponents.
And with a 4/5 Karen Bloodhoof on the field.
Leroy Jenkins is out, and so are 4 Hounds. It's a very good use, very effective use indeed, actually, of release the Hounds.
Now, should mitigate a lot of the potential damage here. You can go ahead and run Leroy in. Granted, you do get another 4/5 onto the board, but...
Yeah, but technically you've already got 1 4/5 out of the way.
Yeah, so... And there's Malkarok. This could swing things in a big way, but here comes the Freezing Traps. And let that be a lesson, guys. Always run your small minions in first when you think there might be a Freezing Trap or a Bear Trap there. Well, not a Bear Trap, but a Freezing Trap. Or a Vaporize if you're a mage.
Oh, Malkarok is back out.
And Malkarok equips the Hammer of Twilight, so Death Rattle on that one is going to summon a 4/2 Elemental as well. Looking at 11 damage on the board right now. Little choice but to drop the other Savannah Highmane.
And knocking off the armor, but at the moment he is just He's just treading water, really. And that is game.
Alright, so...
That match, that round. That's 2-0 to Agtheo now.
Yes, it is. Good match. I feel like Zeo didn't get some of the draw he really wanted out of that deck.
No. Right. So we've got one more round.
Head back into match. Yeah, I feel like Zeo didn't get a lot of draw out of that deck. Also, credit to him though. The way he played around that beginning hand, he really shut down the overall Berserker play.
Yep.
Now this is
double
interesting.
shaman.
We're gonna have double shamans. Not something I was expecting to see. I'm excited for this one, side.
This is definitely not something you see every day, and as we can already see, there's at least one new Whispers card in Zeo's hand. There, he's exchanged it out, but interesting hands for both players here.
It looks like it's going to be the battle of the Tunnel Trogs right at first.
Interesting that they're both using the Tunnel Trogs.
Rockbiter weapon in Zeo's hand as well, and Manatide Totem, one of my favorite shaman cards sitting in Agtheo. Manatide Totem, incredibly powerful for the mana cost.
Well, I guess we know who won the Battle of the Trogs.
Yeah, but you know that Trog's brother is back for revenge. Another
Right,
lightning bolt coming out, and Feral Spirit as well.
Zeo only has one mana crystal to work with this turn, though, after having used a card with Overloaded. Ooh!
Piece of Sergeant, good play. Go ahead and nullify that other Tunnel Trog. Keep it from getting developed.
As I said, I think we know who won the Battle of the Tunnel Trogs there.
Indeed you do. And you can see Agtheo here, potentially setting up that turn 5 play with a Thunder Bluff Valiant.
Yep. Zeo is now using Feral Spirit, powers up that Tunnel Trog even more, puts down 2 fairly decent taunt cards on the field, and now making the decision, decides to go for face.
Tuskar Totemic. Definitely looks like he might be setting up for that at turn 5. He does have the Manatide Totem as well. And keep in mind, Thing from Below costs 1 less for every totem he's summoned this game, so...
Yep. I've never actually seen a situation where we have 2 of the same totem on the field before. We've got 2 Wrath of Air totems, so you know that's plus 2 spell power.
Oh god, you should play the ranked ladder more. It happens all the damn time.
I should. Zeo once again limited in his options because of Overload.
Zeo, however, doing a fantastic job of maintaining control of the board right here. Gonna go ahead and... We're looking at an 8-2 Tunnel Trog.
It's the most powerful Tunnel Trog I have ever seen.
Bloodlust largely useless this turn as there's only the 1-1. Go ahead and call a totem. I think really, I understand what Agtheo's doing here. I mean, you really at this point, he's down to 18. There's a 5-2 on the board and 2-2-3s. He's got to double down on getting this thing from below out and potentially the Thunder Bluff Valiant.
Zeo is going to be pushing as hard as he can, because you know
Absolutely.
He seems to have the advantage at the moment, so why wouldn't you push ahead? One taunt takes out another one.
I definitely, excuse me, a player of Agtheo's caliber, you don't give him any more room than you absolutely have to. You maintain board control, keep him locked down, and do that face damage. And the Ancestral Knowledge is going to also help a lot. A little bit of draw in hand for Zeo, and he also has another Feral Spirit in hand.
Yep, he's trying to make a decision. Starts to go for face, chooses to leave that Manatide Totem on the field and allow for the card draw.
Did you bring some fish?
So the Tuskar Totemic is down. Ooh, we've got a little taunty totem.
Thing from Below down to 1 mana. That's probably the absolute best totem that Agtheo could have gotten. Here comes Thing from Below. 5/5 taunt on the board. Absolutely great play. Buying himself some time. And another Thing from Below. Important to bear in mind, folks, as you just saw, Thing from Below, the effect applies to it if it's in your hand or in your deck. So even if this Thing from Below that's on the board is cleared, Agtheo can drop another 0-cost 5/5 taunt at the beginning of the next round, which will leave him free to drop that Thunderbluff Valiant. Which could leave Zeo looking at, kind of a nasty board.
Yep. Chooses to use the Ancestral Knowledge beforehand.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody get this much value out of a Tunnel Trog.
Me neither, if I'm honest.
That is lethal, folks.
Wow. What a set of events. The Thing from Below.
5/5 and the Thunderbluff Valiant. You go. Great play. Putting some board presence back on the board. Going to try and clear some of this out. Try to leave that Thing from Below to force him to expend the 10-2 to get through it. However, unfortunately, Agtheo has no way of knowing that Zeo has Doomhammer in his hand.
No. Is he going to say... Well, no, he can't play Doomhammer this turn. Overloaded.
He is too overloaded. I'm going to go ahead and finish it off anyways. Fantastic game.
So that's 2-1. Agtheo has 2-1 to Zeo. This match is far from over, ladies and gentlemen. You did say beforehand, Dime, that it was going to be a good one, and yeah, it's not all over yet. Zeo was fighting back.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe we'll go a full 5 matches this time.
I would love that.
Yes. Zeo is still with Shaman. Agtheo playing Hunter.
For Doomhammer, let the hunt
Eagle Hornbow, Huge Toad, Houndmaster.
We've got a Lava Burst, Knife Juggler, and Feral Spirit.
Actually, he mulligans the Knife Juggler.
Oh, and there's that Doomhammer again in Zeo's hand. Rock Biter Weapon comes out.
Yeah, I always laugh when I run into Shamans that don't have Doomhammer because, when they come in for Doomhammer.
Yep.
And then you don't have the Doomhammer.
Right, so we've got a Joust card there. He does win the Joust. Those of you who don't know, the Joust mechanic basically, you draw a card, both of you draw a card from your deck, and whoever has the highest wins the Joust.
And then whatever effect triggers, in this case, Agtheo gets to draw a Stranglethorn Tiger, which is a nasty, nasty card. You never want a 5/5 out on the board that you can't actually attack. Now, I'm trying to remember, Agtheo did not see the Doomhammer last game, did he? He doesn't know it's there.
No. Zeo couldn't play Doomhammer because he was too overloaded to do so.
Zeo might be able to bait him into using the Acidic Swamp Ooze. Doomhammer's such a powerful card because it lasts for 8 turns.
I wonder.
The Feral Spirit is out. The Spirit Wolves of Taunt are holding the line against Agtheo's Beasts. But an Eagle Horn Bow has emerged. He's shooting one of those wolves in the face. Seeing the Toad on the field. Right, Zeo is a little bit limited in what he can do this turn.
I don't think we're going to see Super Trog again in this hand. That was brilliant management last time with that Trog.
Oh yeah, it was, well, you said you've never seen anyone boost a Tunnel Trog that high before, and neither have I, really.
I've never seen that much value for a Tunnel Trog. That was great. Let me go ahead and clear the totem here. Gonna hang on to the Eaglehorn bow.
Right, so Zeo has all his mana crystals back, so he has much more, many more options with what to do this turn.
You know, that's a common mistake I think I see a lot of people make, and I make it myself, is, you know, just going ahead and attacking wildly with your weapon. You want to save the durability on your weapons.
I wonder.
He was considering playing Doomhammer. Not a good idea, there's acidic swamp ooze in that hand. Zeo, no!
Thinks better of it. He's got to know the possibility of acidic swamp ooze is there.
Yeah, acidic swamp ooze, one of those basic cards that shouldn't really be underestimated. There's a few better ways to get rid of the weapon. I carry one in my... I think it's my paladin deck I carry one in. Definitely have
Absolutely.
one in one deck.
If you think about it, you know, just in the situation, terms of this situation, acidic swamp ooze removes 16 potential damage from the board because it is a 2/8 weapon with Wind Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Taking that much damage off the board for 2 mana is huge. Infested Wolf.
Oh,
Stampeding
Stampeding Kodo. Oh, that again, that's one of my favourite cards. Played it so many times. Just love it.
Fantastic against Shaman decks too because you have all these totems.
Yep. But to go back to the acidic swamp ooze for a second, the thing about the acidic swamp ooze is if you're playing a class that you know doesn't generally have weapons, you can still play it out on the field for a sort of fairly cheap 3/2 monster.
Absolutely. Clearing that taunt very easily. And here
There's
comes the infested wolf. Abusive Sergeant in hand and another lava burst coming out. Zeo is sitting on 5 out of 7 mana. He does have 2 locked crystals right now.
Totemic Call. Got Stonefall Totem up. Debating if we might use the Tunnel Trog.
Do you throw the Rockbiter in this situation to force him to pop the Death Rattle on the infested wolf?
What to do?
He's considering it.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and do it.
Take the hit himself. Have the
Keep that
spiders
taunt
out.
on the board.
Time is running out, Zeo. You only have a few more seconds in which to complete this turn. Got 2 mana. How are you going to use it?
Not really anything else he can do. He may have just forgotten to hit end turn. I've done that a time or two myself.
Of course, the spiders, just enough to take out the taunt, standing in their way. But it does mean they're not going to face.
You could go ahead and throw the... Yep. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Savannah Highmane here.
Ooh, Savannah Highmane.
6/5 threat you have to honor. Unfortunately, Zeo doesn't really have anything to clear it with right now. He could do the Lava Burst. See what he gets for his totem. Gonna get a Searing Totem.
Not a very useful one, really, is it?
No, it isn't. Gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Still looking at 2 1/1 spiders and 2 2/2 hyenas on the board. Definitely making that totem the biggest threat he can, trying to soak up some cards with it. And gonna drop Sir Finley. Let's see what hero power he takes.
Got the Paladin, the Rogue, and the Mage hero powers there. Paladin
Take
power,
Paladin.
activate.
Another acidic swamp ooze. So I think we can say goodbye to Doomhammer whenever it finally gets played. Call of the Wild
Oh, I haven't seen that one played yet.
is a nasty board.
You do not mess with the wild.
Gonna take a huge chunk of damage here.
Job's done.
And Zeo does not have any full board wipe, so not really sure what he's going to do in this case. pop Misha. He has no way to do enough damage unless he gets... What's he got? He's got a Rock Biter and a Doomhammer. He's got 2 Doomhammers in that deck, and one of them is golden.
It's interesting.
I don't see a way out of this for him.
Neither do I. It's quite the situation to be looking at, really. I mean, a lot of those minions have very low health, but unless you have a big AoE clear, you really can't get it all off the board at once.
Well, he really needs a Lightning Storm right here, and he doesn't have one, so GG, very well played.
That is 3-1 in favour of Agtheo, our previous champion. Agtheo has won this game.
That means we're going to have Agtheo and Diving Dart heading into the last match.
This is going to be interesting.